Alright, hello. Hello and welcome. I'm going to try and dim this light a little bit because it's really in my eyes here. I tried to set up a light so it doesn't look so shitty. So we'll see how that works. I'm going to turn down the TV volume here. And we'll get ready to go here in a minute with some Castlevania. Hope everyone's doing okay this evening. I'll mute my mic for just 1 second here. Problem is I'm using a really old light here to kind of give this more light here. And it's going to get hot pretty fast, but I think it'll work for now. Let's try. I just want to see once really quick. Yeah, it definitely helps. It definitely helps. Let me get situated here. So this will be the fourth and hopefully final part of Castlevania here. Wow, I'm really still going to have to turn the volume down. And in a minute here, I'm going to just test to make sure the audio... I've noticed in the last couple streams I've done that I left the audio on the game a little louder than I should have. So I'm going to check that really quick. Just give me a moment here. To me, it sounds like it's okay, so I guess we'll get ready to go here. So let's see. We left off at the beginning of the inverted castle, so we're going to have some fun here. Now, as I said before, we're not going for like 100% or 200.6% playthrough here or anything. Literally just playing the story right now. I didn't mean to do that. Hopefully I don't suck ass as much as I did last time. That's a bad power. That's a really bad power up for me to be going up against right now. Oh shit. Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't remember that boss being too challenging. What does that mean? So we don't need to have that. What does the Ring of Vlad do? Oh, that's right. It's not a ring I can wear. It's the shit you need to resurrect Dracula. Okay. In fact, I'm just going to go back and save my game really quick before we go any further. So we don't have any of those issues today. So I will, up front, ahead of time, this stream is going to be a little bit longer. Like I said, I'm hoping to finish this run of Castlevania today. So hopefully we finish today. That being said, I'm going to warn everyone ahead of time. I'm having a little bit of some stomach issues today. And so if there's a couple breaks in the stream, it's just for me to use the restroom. So just warning you guys ahead of time. I have not been feeling the greatest today, unfortunately. I did play a little more Evil Within. I've played about 4 hours of that game now. Still really good. Still really enjoying it. Haven't gotten very far. The like linear yet open world part of that game, I've kind of really gotten into. So I haven't gone further with the actual story. I've been doing all this side stuff in that game because I've actually found it pretty interesting. The last time I remember being that interested in side story stuff in a horror game was Silent Hill Downpour, of all things. So it's pretty cool. I like what I've done in that game thus far, though. I'm really enjoying my time with it. I will be playing more of that game this week in hopes to have a review by the end of this week. That's the plan right now. That being said, there will be another new video that will be posted tonight, not Horror Fest related. This one's actually another GameStop video. So for some reason, I don't know why, but in the last like 2 days, my original GameStop video has blown up considerably. And I had been working on this secondary GameStop video for the last couple weeks. And it just, with all the Horror Fest stuff I've been doing, I've kind of put it on the back burner, but I got around to finishing editing it today. So in fact, as soon as the stream is over here, I'm going to be uploading that. I just let it format, and that formatting alone took like 2 hours. So it's a longer video. It's like a half-hour video. So, but I'm sure you guys will enjoy it. You already went here, right? And then because of that, that's kind of what tomorrow's video was going to be anyway. So there won't be a new video tomorrow per se. Although by the time that video actually uploads to YouTube and posted, it probably will technically be tomorrow. So, but that's going to be tomorrow's video. There will be much more Horror Fest stuff this week. I kind of caught up on posting the videos that I had already edited, so now I actually have to sit down and edit those. But I spent my time filming and editing that review of The Babysitter today, and then this GameStop video. So that's what I've been working on. That and not being prepared for this cold weather. It is like 50 degrees in the Chicago area today, and I was not ready or prepared for that at all. And it hasn't been a fun day. I've literally walked around freezing all day, and I know like you're probably like 50 degrees isn't really that cold, and it's not. Like, this is the first year coming off of my like 70+ pounds that I've lost. So usually this time of year I would be extremely comfortable in terms of that kind of stuff. So it's a weird feeling of it being like 50 degrees and me be like, ooh, this is kind of cold. So that being said, I was looking ahead, and it looks like this week it's going to be probably like the last week of really nice weather, and then we're going to start getting into the fall weather that I haven't been looking forward to because I don't like cold weather. I've never really been a cold weather guy. We've been pretty lucky. Like last year was a pretty mild winter. This is gonna be awful. It's not that they do a lot of damage, it's killing them. It's gonna suck. I just remember like flying around as a bat is a lot of what you do as part of the game. Like getting up there is gonna suck because of all these shitty enemies. Hopefully the audio is more balanced for everyone tonight. It sounded pretty good to me, so compared to what it was last time. Because I always check these streams after when they've been uploaded, and when I listened to the one from the last one I did, I was like, ooh, this audio is not great. So, jeez. is... I literally just want out of this hell. Oh, good. Just gonna do this. Might as well go through here really quick. I will try my best to keep an eye on the chat tonight too. Sometimes I'm good about it, sometimes I'm bad about it. Ooh, man. But yeah, if all goes according to plan right now, we finish up Castlevania Symphony of the Night tonight, or come really close, Tuesday night, most likely Tuesday, if not Wednesday, but I think it'll be Tuesday night. We will do the Resident Evil HD No Door mod run, which I'm really looking forward to. I guess that's technically better, so we'll leave that on. But that'll be Tuesday. That I am planning to be a one single stream, and then after that we'll be doing the Dead Space run. Also, at some point, I am pleased to announce that I have hacked my Super Nintendo Classic. I put all the games that I wanted to put on it, so that's all done now, and I do want to do a stream of a couple of horror titles on there, so there'll be a one-off stream of some of that stuff. The two games specifically I'm looking at dicking around with for that are going to be Zombies Ate My Neighbors, which is one of my favorite games of all time, and the 1992 Bram Stoker's Dracula movie tie-in game, which I have an absurd reverence for that game that no one else will. So, so we'll be doing that. Possibly sometime this week too. I haven't decided yet. I might do all of those things before I start Dead Space. I haven't decided yet. You know, October's already half over, which is ridiculous for me to even think about right now. I'm amazed, honestly. So, but that being said, there will be no stream tomorrow. That just threw me for a second. Jeez. Yeah, at least I got that. shit. Yeah, I'm looking forward to doing some of that Super Nintendo stuff, though. I'm glad I was able to hack it. I put about, I'm trying to think, I think I have like 122 games on it now. I think I filled it about halfway. So I still have plenty of room if there's ever anything more I want to add to it. I'm going to die here because that guy's really on my ass right now. I'm actually amazed I didn't die there. You know what I should do? I should use one of those meal tickets and heal myself here. We have so many. I gotta find it. I was gonna say, I should legit have a few of these. Oh, that's right. I forgot. As I was sitting here, I'm like, why is this not healing me? And then I realized, like, oh, it's because you have to pick it up first. Not the best system, honestly, but, I mean, in 1997, what could they have done, honestly? None of these things are really healing me the way I wanted them to. However, the Sirloin might. That was a lot better. We'll just use all 4 right now, because who cares? Alright, let's equip my sword again. I gotta find it. What the hell is the name of that sword? It started with an M. Here it is. I'm wondering, I saw that they put out like the other half of this season of that Voltron show, which I am really like, I need to sit down and watch the entirety of that show. I haven't watched any of that show at all, and I've heard nothing but great things. I've had a couple people tell me like, you need to watch this, and I was a huge fan of the original like 80s series and stuff. I grew up watching that show. I wasn't, it was a little before my time, but it was one of those things that used to be on one of those weird cartoon channels like in the 90s, and I watched it and I thought it was pretty rad. I remember I watched the first episode of the Netflix show when it first aired and thought it was pretty cool, and for some reason I just never got back to it, but I need to. I've had a couple people tell me like, you need to go back, like it's really good. I have a lot of things on my list that I have to watch. I haven't even started this season of Flash or Arrow yet. I'm kind of putting that off right now. I heard both of them kind of started shitty. It's the kind of thing where I might just wait until the like mid-year break on those shows and just binge them both. I haven't decided yet. Jeez. I haven't decided yet. I don't feel like I'm going to miss anything by not watching those right now. But you never know. I'm at this point now where like I don't like being tied down to TV shows. I kind of like to watch them at my own pace. It's taken me a long time to get to that point now. And like, don't get me wrong, there's certain shows that I'll watch weekly. Like Gotham is one of them. In fact, I probably will watch last week's episode of Gotham tonight because I just forgot about it until I just said that. Gotham's one of them. Obviously, when Better Call Saul comes back, that's one. Obviously, Game of Thrones. But a lot of other stuff now, I'm just kind of in this like whole binge mentality of like, I'll just wait. I guess you can thank Netflix for the idea of binge watching. Plus, too, at the end of this month here is season 2 of Stranger Things, which I kind of really want to just binge that all in one day, if we're being honest. We'll see. We'll see. so many. Oh, wow, and that killed me. Wow, that was a really toolish way to die. Wow, that was a very noob way of me to die. Well, it looks like we get to do some stuff again. Oh, man. This headset's starting to slide off, man. Do that way. There we go. I was trying to set up my blue ice microphone, but I didn't like where I would have to set it with this setup the way I'm playing this right now. I might use it for some of the upcoming streams, but since I'm playing off my big screen TV right now, I didn't like where I would have to set it. So that I'm not like right next to my computer, so I can't like hit the mute button if I need to or anything like that, which this, you know, trusty X12 still has that thing right there, so I can easily just do that if I need to, which is nice. Jeez, this stupid skeleton. Trying to think here. The good old trusty X12s that I've had for like I've had these things for like 7 years now. They're good, man. Well, and the thing was, I bought them to use on the Xbox 360. Because I got into that, like when these kind of headsets started to really get popular for console gaming, I was like, oh, I'll just get, you know, a good pair of those. Even though I still swear by that 360 wireless mic before they did the Bluetooth one, which is my favorite. Like, that thing was incredible. I know a lot of people are like, it was a piece of shit, but like I use that thing daily for like 4 years. I still have it somewhere. Like, that thing was an incredible purchase. And I remember when my original one finally broke, I went out and I bought the, like, Bluetooth one, because then they changed it and they made a Bluetooth one. I was like, I'll just get this, it'll be better. And that one sucked in comparison. I remember returning it to Amazon and then looking through a third-party seller to get another one of that original wireless headset, which that thing was incredible, so... Like, I miss that thing so much, and it baffles me to this day that it is 2017 and we're still using wired microphones on both of these systems for the most part. Like, on the PlayStation you get the gold headset. I've never had good luck with using that thing. I have one. I got a really good deal on one, which I can explain that story in a minute because it's a good one, but I never had any good luck with that headset in terms of using it to talk. Like, I've used it to just play games, like if it's late at night or something, and you know, if I played a horror game or something, that's actually a cool way to play. But other than that, I actually use that headset a lot on my PC when I'm editing videos and stuff, because I don't have you know, this cord attached or anything like that. The gold headset. This happened about a month before I quit GameStop, so this would have been like June of this year. This kid came in with his girlfriend, and they were dumping their PS4s for Xbox Ones, and the whole thing was, well, all my friends play on Xbox One, so we just want to get rid of all our PS4 stuff and get Xbox Ones. And I was like, okay, are you sure you want to do this right now? You don't want to wait a couple months to get the Xbox One X? No, we just want to do this now. Okay, fine, sure, whatever. So this kid has a bunch of stuff to trade in. I'm going through it all, and he has the gold headset. And GameStop doesn't take headsets in for trade, really, other than like your standard wired, you know, chat mics. That's it. That's literally all they take. This was a bad idea. That was a bad idea. I died again. Wow. I'm doing bad today. And so what happened was and this was the thing that my boss allowed me to do because he didn't care. Is if something came in that you wanted and we didn't take it, he wouldn't care about you buying it. If you took it in as like a different SKU and you personally bought it, like I couldn't do this and put this item out on the floor. I would have to buy it, so I had to be committed to it. So this kid, I literally tell him like, "Hey man, I'm sorry, we don't take the gold headset." And he just told me, he's like, "I'm literally just gonna throw it in the trash then." And I told him like, "Well, don't throw it in the trash. Like you could probably sell it to someone." "No, like I just don't care." And he's like, "Well, do you want it?" And I told him like, honestly, I can't just take this kind of stuff, but I'll tell you what, I'll work something out. And I told him, I was like, "Look, I can take it in for a certain SKU. It ain't gonna give you nearly what you paid for it." So I took it in as like a shitty just 360 mic. And GameStop has those like $5 coupons. In fact, I actually have a stack sitting right here. They have these coupons, these like $5. Some stores do, at least here in the Midwest. And so I used one of those on it. So he got like $6 for it or something, but he didn't care, did not give a shit. And then I just bought that for the price of that mic. So I paid like $6 for a gold headset. That's how I got my PlayStation Gold headset. Which I know some people would be like, "Oh, you were just like scamming and stuff." Not really. Like the kid was more than comfortable with it, and I asked him several times, "Are you sure?" You know, and the kid was like, "Yes." So at that point, I did everything I could. That's kind of cool, but I don't use that. So that's how I got my gold headset. And I'm going to be honest, like if I had paid $100 for that gold headset, I'd be very disappointed. So I can't really get mad when I paid $6 for it and it doesn't work properly. So I don't know. Every time I've tried to use it to chat on the PlayStation, people tell me they can't hear me. I've dicked around with the settings. I've turned the mic all the way up. It just, I don't know. I can't get that thing to work worth shit. So I literally just use it as a wireless headset to edit videos on my computer and stuff. And it's been fine for that. Like I'm super happy with it just being a wireless headset. But I find it interesting, like in 2017, we don't have just the little over-the-ear headsets like we did, 5-6 years ago. It's just a weird freaking thing. I wonder why, do they not? Yeah, they're not affected by that. That's kind of weird, right? But yeah, I mean, other headsets I have the, they're around somewhere. I have the Xbox One stereo headset that I use sometimes. That headset's fine, but the cord is really shitty. It's the same cord they use on your standard Xbox One headset. Honestly, I'm not a big headset guy, like for games and stuff. Since I have surround sound, I like to hear the games. So usually if I'm playing with friends or something on Xbox Live or PlayStation Network, I just use like a simple chat mic, and I just pump the sound through my surround sound system. On PC, it's a totally different story, though. Like, I use these X12s a lot on the PC. Man. Shit. I'll tell you though, I would rather have the, you know, stomach problems I'm having today than that awful migraine I had the other day. That was unbearable. That is the worst migraine I've had in like 5 years. I don't know what brought it on. I think it's just the weather change, but like, man, holy shit, was that bad? Like, I literally went downstairs after that stream and passed out on my couch for like 3 hours. And I woke up and was just like, I should just go to bed. And I just went to bed. And the sad thing was when I woke up the next day, like, it kind of came back for a while too. And then it went away. Like, man, was that awful. It's those stupid things that just keep hitting me. Jeez. I'll use the meal ticket. Oh, actually, looks like I already did. That's fine, yeah. At some point down the road, I want to buy that guy's, there's that guy that made those GameCube HDMI adapters, which Metal Jesus did a video on, and then he did that update video because it had problems or whatever, but I still maintain it's because he bumped the system while it was on, but whatever. That still shouldn't be a design flaw of that thing, so like I understand. Oh god, I don't want to fight him yet. And I still want to buy one because I would love to stream some GameCube stuff, but I don't want to stream that shit in S video. Like, that's really shitty, and I'm not gonna buy one of those expensive component cables. So, but keep forgetting I have this like, time slowdown one. But yeah, that's a down the road thing. Well, it's funny because right after that guy's video was posted, like I emailed to get put on that wait list for that HDMI thing, and then that guy emailed me not very long after, like saying I could order one, and you know here's the PayPal information and stuff to do it, and I just didn't do it. I just didn't have the money at the time, and that thing would be really cool to have though. Like, it makes some of those games look just drop dead gorgeous. And there's some GameCube stuff I would like to stream, but the other reason I would like to get one is because I have the Game Boy Advance player on my GameCube, and that would be the best way to play those games. And I could do streams of each Castlevania game for those, because those are, I actually have those sitting right here. Of all my Game Boy Advance games, they're sitting on my TV stand right now. So I have, they're a little dusty, but Area of Sorrow. I have, man, these are dusty. Harmony of Dissonance. So I have that sitting here, and then Circle of Moon's around here somewhere. Somewhere. I don't. My Circle of the Moon copy's a little beat up, but my Circle of the Moon copy. So I have all 3 of those. I also got this Lunar Legend game. Advance Wars 2 sitting over here. There's a Mario Kart game. Metroid Fusion, which I've had forever. So yeah, I've got a bunch of games. But yeah, sorry to go on that sidetrack about Game Boy Advance, but I have a bunch of Game Boy Advance games I'd like to stream. I primarily use an old DS, but I do have a Game Boy Advance SP as well. Don't care for that system as much. I like the older style Game Boy Advance more. I like the controller layout or the system layout of that system more than the SP, but obviously the SP has the backlight thing. Someday I'd like to get one of those kits that you can mod the regular style Game Boy Advance to have the backlight. I think that'd be really cool. I've seen a lot of people do that. But at this point, I bought a cheap, when I was at GameStop, I bought a cheap DS, like last fall. Just a black one, DS Lite, just to play my Game Boy Advance games again. Because I didn't have a DS. I have a new 3DS XL, but that don't play Game Boy Advance games. And I knew somebody that would have been willing to make one of those Game Boy, what do they call it, Game Boy Advance macros or something, where you take like a 3DS and turn it into a Game Boy Advance with like a backlight screen and all that. And he wanted me to pay him $100 to do that though, and it's like on top of buying the system at the time. I was like, didn't want to do that. Wasn't interested in paying for that. I ain't gonna touch that one. I forgot this becomes kind of a hellhole. Oh shit, I forgot about that too. You know, even though I would love to stream all of those Game Boy Advance Castlevanias, I played through all of them for the first time like 15 years last summer, and enjoyed playing through them all. I played through all of them on the Game Boy. What I did was when I was working at GameStop, I brought my Game Boy in, and we had like a really shitty old. It wasn't the worst TV, but like an old tube TV. I just hooked that up in the back room, and that's what I would do on my lunches and stuff. Is I just played through those Castlevania games, and that was my like summer project. And like every half-hour lunch I took, that was my incentive to actually take a lunch. Because a lot of times I just didn't take a lunch. I got through all three of those last summer. But yeah, just that was our break room. A GameCube with, you know, a pretty extensive GameCube library that between a couple of us we brought in, and the Game Boy Advance player. At first, when we hooked up the TV, I brought in my slim PS2 and played a lot of Tony Hawk, 3, 4, and Underground, and then I decided I'd rather play the GameCube. And then what happened was there was an unfortunate strain of like absurd robberies, and I didn't want that thing to be in there. I didn't want that to be in there because it was the kind of thing where like they could come in and hold us up at gunpoint, and it's like Game Boy Advance players are kind of hard to come by now. Like you can find the player itself really easily, but finding that disc in good condition is a whole nother story. So between that, I was just like, no. And I took that thing home, and I think it pissed off one of my coworkers because he was in the middle of playing like Smash Brothers or something, and it was just like one day he came in and the system was gone, and he was kind of pissed, and I was like, sorry man, like with what's been going on, I don't want this sitting here. And I think, as I said in that one GameStop video, like in my district, we were one of the only stores that was not hit by this string of robberies. The same two people hit literally every store. Even hit the other store in the town that I live in, because in the town I live in, there's 2 GameStops. Hit every store but ours. And like there was like one other store that didn't hit, but yeah, like scary shit. Yeah. Scary, scary stuff. Not fun. Those people did eventually get caught. The way they got caught was funny. I'm not gonna say, because it would reveal a security secret about GameStop that I don't think is something I should say. So, but the way they got caught was kind of humorous, is what I'll say. But yes, and that signified the end of that. Like, I even stopped. I don't think when the Switch came out, I never even really brought my Switch to work, because it was the same kind of thing. Like, I didn't want, you know, when the Switch first came out, they were really hard to find, and I didn't want to be put in a situation where my Switch got stolen, because even if it got stolen, like, I know the company would replace it and stuff like that, but still, like, I'd lose my save on Zelda at the time and stuff like that. That would have angered me, so. Which is a total shame, because, you know, that's what that system is. The portability is what that system's designed for. So, which I didn't buy a Switch expecting to use it portably at all, and I've almost exclusively used that thing portably, with the exception of some Zelda. Like, I haven't played my Switch docked in over a month. I've literally just been playing. Now I'm just playing handheld. Stardew Valley, which has been awesome. There's been a couple times I've thought about streaming that, but it's not a spooky game. Oh, fudge. I did not mean to do that. Oh, I can't. Oh, that's dumb. Give me a second here, guys. I can... Let's let my cell phone charge, and it's fully charged now. I was having some more problems with this Elgato today before I started the stream. I can't remember if this doppelganger is harder than the other one. I didn't realize I could do that. Well, that made that a lot easier. I got together with a group of friends last night. We watched The Shining. So one of my friends for a long time was very anti-scary movies of any kind. Like, he wouldn't watch anything. He's just what you call a giant pussy in those regards. And for whatever reason this year, it's like he woke up one day and was like, I want to watch a bunch of scary movies. What should I watch? And so I've been kind of telling him, like, oh, these are the movies you should watch. He's like, his big thing is he doesn't like jump scares. Like, he's okay with gore. He's okay with movies being intense, but he doesn't like the jump scare nature of horror movies. So it's been kind of fun telling him, like, and for me too, like trying to realize, like, all right, what movies do I like that are jump scare, and what movies do I like that are horror that are just horror. But yeah, one of the ones I was like, oh, you should watch The Shining, because he had never seen The Shining, which is a classic movie in its own right. And so we got together last night with some friends to watch that. And I haven't seen The Shining in probably 5-6 years now. Let me open my lemonade here. It was fun. It came to light last night that he's never seen the original Poltergeist. So I told him, like, that's the next movie you need to watch, man. I was just kind of going through a list of horror movies, you know, to see, like, what he's seen, what he hasn't seen. He's never seen the original Halloween either, although he just bought... He also went on, like, a Blu-ray purchase spree, and he's been buying a bunch of these horror movies on Blu-ray and stuff, trying to decide, like, what he wants to watch and stuff. And that was a big one, the Halloween movies. I think he bought Halloween 1 and 2 on Blu-ray. He's never seen those. I told him, like, 1, 2, and 3 are good. I mean, 3 obviously is not... doesn't have anything to do with Michael Myers, but that's a good movie in its own right. But, like, after that's where that series gets kind of iffy at best. I was surprised when he told me he'd seen stuff like The Exorcist. These are the same people, as I've said before, we get together and watch the wrestling pay-per-views. The same group of friends. I want to save my game. Can I break this wall? But yeah. I just got a digital copy of the movie Annabelle Creation that I want to watch. I might watch it and review it for Horror Fest here. I haven't decided yet. I've heard really good things about that movie. I liked The Conjuring. I have not watched The Conjuring 2, actually. I heard that was okay. I liked that Annabelle spin-off movie. I thought was okay. I heard that this Creation movie is even better. So, I haven't decided yet. I heard good things about it, though. I have to look and see, like, I went on a spree and got a bunch of John Carpenter movies, most of which I've seen already now, but, and I did a bunch of stuff for those, which now just need to be edited. But I need to look through my queue thing here and see if there's any other ones that I haven't watched yet that I need to watch for that stuff. I kind of want to see that Jackie Chan movie that's out in theaters right now, The Foreigner, but it's also the kind of thing where, like, I also kind of don't really care to go to the theater now until Justice League comes out. So I'm sure that movie's going to be absurdly lengthy. So, although I don't know. I feel like between Zack Snyder and Joss Whedon both helming that thing now, I feel like it'll be edited enough to a decent runtime. But you never know. They've sure done a good job marketing that movie and putting out really good trailers. Especially trailers that don't give away things. they've done a really good job marketing that movie. So I hope it pays off in the end, because it would be a real shame if we, we had, the movies that we've had, and then we had, the frickin' Wonder Woman movie really good, and then we get Justice League and it's bad. So I hope that's not the case. I really have high hopes for Justice League. I say that as someone who was a fan of Batman v Superman, but again, don't think it's the best movie I've ever seen or anything, but I don't think it's garbage either. It has parts of it that I dislike, but you can rip apart any Batman movie at this point. Like, I can rip apart The Dark Knight if I wanted to. There's stuff about that movie that I dislike. I do find it a little absurd. I watched James Rolfe, or the Angry Video Game Nerd, put out a video that I thought was interesting a couple weeks ago about like top 10 movies I don't love, popular movies that everybody universally loves and he just doesn't. And one of those movies was The Dark Knight, which I thought was interesting because pretty much everybody loves The Dark Knight. Like, it is arguably the best Batman movie of all time. You could also put Tim Burton's Batman, but I have nostalgia for that movie. And his thing about it, and his arguments, and he's not wrong, but one of his biggest arguments is like that movie is really high on IMDb's top 250 of all time movies. It's like number 4 or 5, which it's above things like The Godfather 2 and stuff. Like, it's weird that movie is where it sits on that list, because I remember when it came out, and that's the kind of thing where, like, when movies come out and they're really good and universally loved and everybody loves them, they get put really high in the IMDb rankings, and then they kind of slowly fall down that list. And that one never has. That one's kind of stayed where it's been this whole time. So but yeah, so for those reasons I looked at, I was like, okay, like, I understand where he's coming from. I felt bad for him because at the beginning of that video, he had to put a huge disclaimer out, like, look, like, these are my opinions, your favorite movie might be on here and you might get really upset. It's like, this is just my opinions. Like, I get it. Thought it was an interesting list. He had some other ones on there that made a lot of sense to me. Citizen Kane being one of them, where it's like, I really like Citizen Kane. I think it's a good movie, but I could understand why you would dislike it, because if you've ever taken a film class, like, those film teachers will shove that movie down your throat. I think Pulp Fiction was on his list too. But the thing about his list was, like, all of them were kind of things where, like, I watched it and was like, yeah, that makes sense why you would put it on this list, so. But I could totally also see why people would get upset. There's some movies that have really rabid fan bases, Another one he had on there was, like, The Big Lebowski, which I also agree with. It's kind of like my feelings on Game of Thrones. Like, I really like Game of Thrones. I think it's a good show. I think it's incredibly overrated at times. Or, like, I can give you a more recent example. Like, I actively do not like or care for Rick and Morty. Like, it's just... maybe it's just me, but I just don't get what the big deal is about it, I guess. And part of the reason I actively dislike that show is its fan base is awful. Like, the constant people that are just like, oh, you just don't get it. You just don't get it. Like, if you ever say anything negative about that show, it's turned me off to ever wanting to watch that show, for being honest. Like, I watched 2 episodes of it just to see what it was about. And just got to the point, like, I watched those 2 episodes and was like, nah, I'm good. Part of it was like, I didn't even laugh once. And I know, and the thing is, like, the fan base is so rabid around that show. There was a kid when I worked at GameStop, one of my coworkers, he's just so into that show. Bought, like, the pop vinyls. He bought, like, all the pop vinyls, like, pre-ordered them all, bought those, like, day 1. And that's why and this was a couple weeks ago too, but like I got tired because I have a couple friends that keep like making references to that show, and I was just like, I guess I'll watch an episode because it's on Hulu, and I watched like 2 episodes of it and just was like, yeah, I just don't get what's the big deal. Like, I'd rather go watch a new season of Family Guy, and I don't really want to watch a new season of Family Guy, so I don't know. I just didn't get what the big deal was, so I'm just kind of done there. Oh, I guess I haven't unlocked any of these other parts yet, so that was dumb of me. But yeah, that's a better example I can give of that kind of thing. It's like I don't get the absurd hardness around that show. Like I said, I'm sure there's some good positives to that show. Like maybe it's one of those things where, oh, it gets better when you watch some of the later seasons and stuff of it. But I just personally, I know, I was gonna say, I know this thing's gonna knock me again. I kind of want to see what's in this. Wasn't worth my time. Oh, I did not want to fight a boss right now. Oh, it's the mummy. I do not remember how shitty he is. We're gonna die, there's no way. I didn't realize that that's what was going on over here, so it's my fault. Oh, what else do I have that I can eat really quick? Oh, that did jack shit for me. That did jack shit for me as well. What else do I got? How about some peanuts? Huh? I have like nothing good. I think this does like 50 damage. You know what I could use that I have a ton of? Oh, there's lunch B too. Let's see that. How much does that do? Nothing. I had a bunch of those pentagrams. I should just use those. Let's see if I can find it. There we go. I don't know how much damage that does. Not a lot. problem with him is he keeps emitting that like gas shit that just wrecks him. He's not a particularly hard boss though. Not what I wanted. At least we beat him. That's what's important. Throw my sword back on. But yeah, I plan on diving really deep into Evil Within 2 this week, more than I have. The problem with that game is it kind of came out and I had a lot of things going on this weekend, so I didn't get a chance to get as much time into that game as I wanted to. Which is a shame, because the more I play it, the more I really want to play and like really dive in and get into that game in a big bad way. I just unfortunately haven't had a lot of time. What? See if I can just ignore one of those things. Oh, shit. Oh, I forgot about these. I just want to find a save point at this point, because I don't want to have to do all that shit again. Oh, it's one of these guys, too. I need to get out of here. This castle is okay. That helps it. The inverted castle is a lot of like, oh shit, I need to get out of here. Like a lot more than a lot of the other castles. Oh god. Like the regular castle is not like this at all. They are awful. This would be a lot of me just flying. I don't want to fight another boss right now. I guess that's what we're doing. Oh shit. I didn't realize that's who we're fighting right now. She's not that hard, though. Yay! Ugh. I'm gonna sit up here. Of course I get hit by that. I'm trying to think of what all I put on the Super Nintendo Classic now I'm thinking about. I mean, I put on the essential games that I wanted on there. I put, like, you know, like, obviously everybody's going to put Chrono Trigger on. I put Chrono Trigger on there. I put a lot of those JRPGs that I wanted that weren't on the system. You know, like the Lufia games, and Final Fantasy II, Mystic Quest, which a lot of people hate. I don't. Blackthorn. That's a pretty cool game. That's a Blizzard game. Yeah, I put a good chunk of stuff on that thing. I'm excited to take a look at it at some point here. And I tested some of the ROMs out yesterday, and they work pretty well. So. Let's see here. What happens if I? Nah, that looks pretty dark. Jeez. Well, this will probably be the last stream that I do using the TV for this month. The rest of it's going to be all stuff based off the computer, or those monitors at least. This over a little bit, see if that helps things out a little bit here. Oh shit. Oh shit. Keep the bad habit of hitting the wrong bumper button. Again, I keep hitting that stupid ass button. I guess I never went through this way. Like, I have to be exactly dead center in that thing. Sure. I feel like I've been through here. Oh, there. Well, we haven't gone up the other way. So I'm trying. I can't screw myself there. Let's just. I'll take those couple hits and just leave. I will also say, when we get to the month of November, I will be going down to a regular schedule with video stuff too. So, because right now it's been very hectic of like a lot of videos a week and stuff. Once we hit November, I'm gonna be trying and concentrating on maybe 1 or 2 videos a week. Right now, with all this Horror Fest stuff, I've been trying to pump out a lot of content for that between that and streaming. You know, it's a lot to do. I kind of remember using this place as a good place to grind. See if that's. I wonder if I can change this. I'm trying to get this. Oh, that's better. Again, as I've said many times before, I run a professional operation here. Very professional. You know, as chronicled in my top 5 Xbox 360 games I want to see come to the backwards compatibility program, like I still would love to see Harmony of Despair. What a fantastic, weird game that. Like I still, it's such a weird ass game. Like there's been a couple times where I've been thinking about just firing up my 360 and streaming that game because that game's so cool. I doubt there's many people playing it now, unfortunately. It's unfortunate. I think if it were to ever come to backwards compatibility, I don't think it's out of the question. I just don't think anybody really cares. Like Symphony of the Night, that's a big game. Everybody cares about Symphony of the Night. But I don't think anyone cares about Harmony of Despair. Unfortunately. It was a very niche title just when it came out. I would lose my mind if that game went backwards compatible. What an awesome game that is. Nope, not the room I want to go in. See if we can beat this boss. I'm trying to remember what this boss is. Oh, that's right. It's like these triple fake Trevor. Yeah. Isn't that supposed to be fake Sypha? I don't even think it says. I don't know. This guy, man. Problem is, like, they don't do a lot of damage, but there's 3 of them. That's what makes this suck. I got her. So she's dead. The hardest one's gonna be the monkey guy. There we go. I will say in the new video that I was editing today, that'll be up later, I used a lot of Symphony of the Night music in it. A lot of Symphony of the Night background music. I love this soundtrack. Oh, okay. I should probably check upstairs first. I was gonna say, I'm sure there's a save point around here somewhere. Oof. But yeah, I used a lot of that as my background music. A lot. I tried to cut down on some of the Nintendo music I use in the background since I've gotten a couple. Although I've never, to be fair, I've never gotten a copyright notice for background for any of the music I've used in the background of any of my videos. The copyright notices I've gotten are music I've played during live streams, like during breaks, which just every time I get one of those, I literally just take that song and remove it from the playlist. And then when I started Film Club, I used a lot of trailer footage, and as I've said a couple times on these streams, like trailer footage should be fair use. Like, I look at that and go, that's fair use, like right then and there. And I'm not even using clips from a freaking movie, and I've gotten hit with that a couple times. And it's the kind of thing where, like, it's not like I've only been hit with one copyright notice that a video got taken down, and that was because I used a clip from that Castlevania Netflix show in my review. Like, I just captured a clip of that show that I thought was cool, and they got like, I literally got dinged within 5 minutes of uploading that video, and I had to just edit that part out. And that's where I learned, like, oh yeah, I guess I can't do that. But yeah, the rest of the copyright notices that I've gotten have all been stuff like music, background music, or not even background music, but music in the live streams, like during the breaks, or footage. So that's why Film Club now I just use pictures. It's an easy way to get around that problem. So. Well, the thing that I think is dumb about it, too, is, like, I'm not even playing this footage with sound. Like, it's literally just clips from trailers with no sound. And apparently that's too much. So. And the thing that sucks about those is, like, there's only a couple that I've been hit with that, like maybe 2 or 3, before I change that, and it sucks because like I could still leave those movies up, but leave those videos up, but I will never receive any kind of money from them. Not that I'm probably ever going to receive a paycheck from YouTube stuff, but I couldn't now simply because those videos were demonetized. So, shit. Jeez. Well, we made it through that hall, dickery. I'm honestly surprised with the couple GameStop videos I've done that I haven't gotten anything about that. Like, you're talking about this company in a negative light. I guess it doesn't really matter because it proves how shitty that company is that they don't even care. And that's even when I worked there for the 4.5 years I worked there. Like, anytime there was ever any kind of controversy, like prime example, like when that Kotaku article hit, GameStop corporate's answer to that was, we'll just ignore it. It just didn't really happen. So, I guess I should say I'm not surprised in that situation, but although maybe the video that I didn't mean to do that. What boss is this? Oh, it's the shitty Beelzebub boss. Wonderful. God, these bees are hideous. They're so slow. That being said, I've also been very careful on the GameStop videos I do because I still have friends that work at the company and stuff, and I don't want to get any of them in trouble or anything. I mean, GameStop can get pissed at me for all they want. Like, I don't work for the company anymore, so I don't really care. But I wouldn't want to get anybody that still has a job there in trouble. So, in fact, there was a whole part of the video that I'm posting later today that I just edited out because I thought it was a little, it got a little too personal, and I was like, I don't think that this is a good thing to have up, just in case. For some reason. Well, I can't. Oh, okay. I remember this boss sucks. Just because it's hard to hit him. Where, like, oh, for a minute I was like, can I just leave? Like, oh, see you later. Let's see if I have anything to heal myself. A high potion. Why not? What does that do? 100. Sure. I'll do that. I knew that was coming. Alright. Those bees will get you. Although I've been actively checking like once a day to see if I've gotten any other copyright things. The last one I got was one of the Evil Within streams I did. I got dinged for a song that I played during a break. My favorite one was like I have the menu, the soundtrack, Saints Row 3 menu music soundtrack. And that was one of the things that got dinged, was like one of those songs where it's like I didn't even know, because you can click on the thing and it'll show you exactly like what's been dinged, and I was like, okay, and I click it and I'm just like, really? Like of all the things I played, like I was figuring it was gonna be like Earthbound music or Chrono Trigger or something like that, or like one of the Mario songs. I have got dinged for Mario songs. I don't really put Mario music in any of this stuff anymore, because that apparently, like, you can play Chrono Trigger music all day, but the minute you play a Mario song, Nintendo is pissed. It's like my live stream of the Super Nintendo Classic. I got dinged for like 6 things on that video, the archive of it, because it's all music, Nintendo music. It's like, come on, man, like, shitty. So that's why I gotta look. I keep saying, I say this every stream, I gotta look into the Nintendo thing and streaming Super Mario Odyssey, because I'm planning on doing a day one, like, first impressions. Like, I'm literally gonna get home from getting my copy of the game and stream it. So I need to look into seeing like what's gonna happen with that. Being that I'm such a small YouTube channel, I don't think it matters, but I don't know. So I just haven't had a chance to look into it. Because I've seen Nintendo's going pretty heavy at those people. I know a lot of the more prominent YouTube people that are in this for a career have been getting hit with a lot of demonetization and stuff. We're gonna just fix that problem right now. Some of my friends last night at that thing were talking about Cuphead. Some of them just bought Cuphead now. And I got one friend that like doesn't want to buy Cuphead because somebody told him it is as hard as Dark Souls, and I had to stop him and be like, first of all, it's nothing like Dark Souls. Like, those are completely different games. I wouldn't compare that even in difficulty. Like, I mean, I personally don't think Dark Souls is a hard game. It's challenging, but it's not. There are much, much harder games out there than Dark Souls. I mean, that being said, like Cuphead is a hard game, don't get me wrong. If you're not used to that kind of style, or, you know, the old shooters like that, then you're gonna have a rough time. Don't get me wrong, but I think everything about that game, how incredibly well made it is, outshines its difficulty level, even for people that, you know, go into that like, this is too hard or something. So, but I just told him, I was like, you should just buy the game anyways. Who cares? Like, it is worth it. And then he keeps saying like, well, I want to wait till it's a little bit cheaper. Like, dude, of all the developers, Studio MDHR, like, they deserve that $20. Like, they made a game that I think is better than than a lot of $60 games I played this year. So, you know. I had another buddy who like last minute decided, oh, I really want the WWE 2K Deluxe Edition, 2K18 or whatever, and he drove all the way, because he lives in the state of Illinois, but he works in the state of Wisconsin. and he literally drove like he works like literally over the border, and then he drove like an hour out of his way to go to a Best Buy that had a copy of this just so he could get it and get his like Gamers Club Unlocked discount to get that version, because it was a last minute thing where he's like, oh, I want to get it now, like I don't want to wait the 4 days or whatever, which I think is absurd for a lot of games, but especially wrestling. But whatever. And I got another buddy who's picking the game up Tuesday, and they're on me like, oh, you should get WWE 2K on Tuesday, and I just tell them like, I'm just gonna wait till it's on sale. Like, I don't want to pay $60 for that game, or even, I mean, I guess it would be like $45 with these discounts and stuff, but still, like, I don't feel like buying that game day one. I got plenty of things to play right now. Between that, I'd love to play South Park too, but I can wait on that as well. I think that game will be really good, so. But I laugh that they tell me this shit. Like, yeah, he drove all the way to, you know, this part of Wisconsin to pick this up. Like, oh. So I just kind of laughed, like, really? Like, of all the games, that was the game that you decided to, you know, put your foot on the ground. Like, I gotta go get this right now, you know, whatever. But I have one friend who has like an insane amount of disposable income. He's, you know, right out of college, no real bills to pay. Still lives at home. He's got his first, you know, real big boy job, as I like to call it. And so he has like, he's making like $18 an hour. So he's got all this disposable income, and he literally buys every game that comes out. Like I was laughing the other day. I happened to be looking through like his PSN trophies, and it's like he's literally in the last month bought every game that's come out. I'm talking like Gundam Versus, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, just like everything that has come out in the last month, this kid has bought. Just like, oh, now you got WWE. I'm sure he'll get South Park next week. And the thing is, like, he's working like a 40, 45 hour a week job. So I don't know how he finds all this time to play all these games. But he does. Bought Project Cars 2 and then traded it in because he hated it. Forza 7, like you name it. Like this kid's bought every game that has come out this month. Or month of September. Well, I guess in October as well here. But yeah, like it's... I just laugh. I think he's even taking the day off work when Mario Odyssey comes out to just play that. Oh yeah, and the thing I was joking with him, you know, last night, I was like, I'm sure you'll buy, because I know he's going to buy Odyssey. I know he's going to buy Wolfenstein 2 that day. And I told him, I was like, I'm sure you're just going to buy Assassin's Creed Origin 2. He's like, no, we'll probably wait on that. Like, do you wait on anything, though? Like, you don't really wait on any games, so... I got... Oh shit, oh shit. I got yesterday my copy of, we're just gonna do that. Dragon Age Heroes 2, or Dragon Quest Heroes. I don't like to call it Dragon Age. Good lord. Dragon Quest Heroes 2 came from Amazon. It was on sale over the weekend for like $20. And that, I was like, that's a good deal. And then as it came in the mail and I opened that package and I looked at it, I was like, I put it on my shelf. I actually I broke the seal because the disc was loose, and I wanted to make sure the disc was okay. Otherwise, I wouldn't have broken the seal on it yet. And I opened it and I shut it and I put it on my shelf. I was like, maybe I'll play this one day. I have to finish the first one. That's the problem. Like I could just start playing that one, but if I do that, I'll never go back to the first one. So. Oh shit. Hello, Nintendo-tastic. How are you doing this evening? Sorry, I had to pick up my iPad because I have my glasses on, so I can't read small print at all. But yeah, maybe one day I'll play Dragon Age. God, I keep saying it, Dragon Age. Dragon Quest Heroes 2. I got to beat Dragon Quest Builders as well. And I like that game a lot. I recently loaded it up. This is probably a month ago, I stayed at my girlfriend's house, and she lives out in the country, like in the middle of nowhere. And they don't have the best internet, unfortunately. So it's not like I could sit there, and this was right after Destiny 2 came out, and it's like, well, I'm not gonna be able to play Destiny 2. I'm not gonna be able to download anything. Just to give you an example of how poor their internet is, like I tried to download just like a 2 gig patch for a game that I brought over there. It took like 12 hours. Like I literally left it go all night. It took like 12 hours. So her internet unfortunately is bad. And it's just unfortunately in the area that she lives in, they don't have access to something like Comcast or something. So they have bad internet. I can't even remember the name of the company of their internet, but it's bad. Just trust me when I say it ain't good. So I can't. So it's not great. But that was one of the games I brought up to play because I knew like the patch was very small for it. I bought that, and I brought this other game called Caledon Returns. This is Sengoku. That game's pretty cool too. That's another one that's been sitting on my shelf forever. It is on Xbox One. It's through backwards compatibility. It came out in the 360. So if you bought it on the Xbox 360, or if you can even if you buy it now, you can play it on the Xbox One, which is the great backwards compatibility program. But I played a lot. Like there's like a day where I played a lot of that, and got really back into it. And I'd like the problem is we're at a time now where there's so many freaking games coming out. I just don't have the time to play some of these backlog games that I have, like I did over the summer. So unfortunately, games like that are gonna have to wait a little while. Well, it's like for me, like I'm not even playing Wolfenstein 2 the day one it comes out. Like I'm waiting until I have my Xbox One X to play that game because that's where it's going to be the best. So, I'm trying to decide if I want. Do I want to go out? Do I want to go fight that boss? Yeah, we might as well. Potentially another thing I'm thinking about doing, but this is way down the road for the channel, but I'm thinking next summer I kind of want to do what I haven't decided yet how this is going to work yet, but I've been toying with the idea of doing a what I would call a JRPG summer, and I want to play through some JRPGs, either classic PS1 JRPGs or I didn't realize this was the boss we were fighting right now. Or some of these Super Nintendo RPGs and stuff, or maybe even some of these PS4 ones that have been sitting here. Like, but I have a lot of my backlog is JRPGs, so. But I haven't decided yet. But that would be a summer thing. I would pick a time where there's not a lot of games coming out, so purposely. I remember this boss always sucked for obvious reasons. But I've been toying with that idea. I have a lot. Obviously, I have a lot of like Super Nintendo JRPGs I want to play. I have a bunch of PS1 RPGs I could play through the PS1 Classic emulation that I have. Then I would hook up my PS TV or PS Vita TV thing and stream them that way. That's kind of the best way to play those now, without actually having to crack open some of my hard copies of these games. But I haven't decided yet. That's just an idea I've been kicking around that I was thinking of maybe doing in the summer when, you know, things are kind of died down here for video games. I knew that was going to happen. I will look into your channel later when I'm not streaming. I can't really do that right now. But I will look into it later. Dracula X is a good game, too. It is one of the few Castlevania games that I don't own a hard copy of. In fact, I will show you one of my crown jewels, because it's actually sitting right next to me. Speaking of Castlevania, this was a birthday gift a couple of years ago. I have a box copy. This was actually sealed, but the condition of me getting this as a birthday gift was I had to open it to play it, and that is Castlevania Bloodlines for the Sega Genesis. I had a sealed copy of it, but I opened it for the Sega Genesis, so this is a cool thing to have. I actually have it just kind of displayed in front of my entertainment center here right now. That's one of the crown jewels, which is probably not really a big crown jewel of anybody's collection, but you know, when people think of rare Castlevania games, they think of Dracula X and they think of Rondo of Blood and stuff. But Bloodlines is getting harder to find, especially one with a case. So that was a cool surprise. Oh gosh. They gave that to me, my friends gave that to me like, could have been 3 years ago now. Do I want to try fighting this guy again? I might just have to go level, because what level am I right now? I'm level 38 right now. Problem is I keep getting hit by the maggots. In fact, Dracula X, obviously I don't own a copy of Rondo of Blood. And that 64 Legacy of Darkness are kind of the only Castlevania games I don't own at this point. I own pretty much everything else. Well, I don't own, the other one I don't own and I've actually not really played much of is that PS2 Xbox One Curse of Darkness, which I would like to play at some point. Like, I rented it once when it came out, but it was like, it was a Castlevania game I just couldn't get into. At the time, at least. But I mean, obviously I own a lot of the heavy hitters. Super Castlevania 4. I have I actually don't own Castlevania 2 and 3 for NES as well now that I think about it. I have the original Castlevania. Super Castlevania 4, Symphony of the Night. Castlevania Chronicle is the other one that I point to a crown jewel of my Castlevania collection, simply because that game, to find it in the condition that I found it in, is pretty hard now. And that's not a common one you see much very often. So I have that. All the GBAs, all the DS ones, the 3DS one. Lords of the Shadow 1 and 2, Collector's Edition of Lords of Shadow 1. What else? Castlevania 64. I just don't have Legacy of Darkness. Lament of Innocence. I own that. So I own like most everything, with a couple exceptions here and there. Get this shit out of here. There we go. I hate these things for that reason. Of course, he's like blocking. He's gonna hit me. That's really maddening. Just all of you come down here. Let's see if I can get up there now. That is incredibly maddening. Yeah, the Castlevania games for the DS, which I have them all with case and everything. I hunted those down a couple summers ago. One of them, I think. Well, actually, I should take that back. The one that I had to hunt down, because I still have my original copies of. Oh, I didn't mean to fall down here again like that. I still have my original copies of Order of Ecclesia. I actually have the strategy guide for that game too, and Portrait of Ruin, but I was missing Dawn of Sorrow. I had to hunt that game down. That was a little bit more challenging to find with a case, but I accomplished it. Honestly, anything, yeah, I have played Haunted Castle. I actually just recently purchased that like PS4 version of that game. I don't care for that game, if we're being honest. It's a cool piece of gaming history, but it's not particularly fun to play. It's pretty challenging. I'd rather play one of the NES Castlevania games instead, but I do have that. Yeah, I bought that, and then through buying that like arcade archive version of that on PS4, I saw that they did a arcade archive of the bullet hell game Life Force, which is the first bullet hell game I ever played as a kid, so I bought that too. But yeah, no, I've played Haunted Castle. I've seen a copy of Castlevania Legacy of Darkness in the wild 2 times, but it's always been more than I wanted to pay at the time. I went to, I think what's called Midwest Gaming Convention or something like, it's called something like that. It's in a suburb of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, like every spring. I went in 2016, and I saw a copy of it there for like $80, and I had the money, but I wanted to buy. I'd rather spend my money at conventions on getting a bunch of stuff than just one big thing. So I got some cool stuff at that convention. But yeah, that I've only seen that 2 times. I saw it once, another time at like a game store with the box, and it was like $150, because you have to remember the box for that game would be incredibly hard to get because it was a Blockbuster exclusive, and most of those boxes were cut up and thrown away. So $150 was probably at the time a pretty decent price for that thing, all things considered. But and Legacy of Darkness, it's just Castlevania 64, except you play as I think it's Cornell. You play as a werewolf, but I think it is Cornell that you actually play as. I can't remember. I could be wrong on that, but it has like one. I think the intro level is different, but then it's vastly the same game as Castlevania 64, which I remember as a kid really liking, but it's like most 64 games, it's unplayable today, unfortunately. But and if you compare it to a lot of the other Castlevania games, like now, it's not a particularly great game. The best Castlevania game I've ever played? Probably Symphony of the Night. But it's probably my favorite overall. But I would put that next to... I know I'll probably get a lot of hate for saying Lords of Shadow, but I really like Lords of Shadow. I would put that as like a strong number 2, which I know is blasphemy to a lot of Castlevania fans, but I have a real affinity for that game. Then after that, I would probably say Dracula X be my third. But for me, like, especially, well, everything that came after Symphony of the Night, like you have the 3 GBA games and the 3 DS games, they're all good. They're all just, at the same time, just offshoots and mimics of what made Symphony of the Night such a great game. Not saying that they're bad games or anything like that. They're all excellent games in their own right, but they're all kind of doing the same thing. So... I would say Symphony of the Night easily, like, nothing. I don't think any Castlevania game for me will ever top it if they ever, you know, Konami got their heads out of their asses and decided to make video games again and make Castlevania games again. But I don't think anything even then would still top Symphony of the Night for me. It's easily my favorite. One day I'll remember to turn off notifications on my streams. One day. I mean, to be fair, not to sound like a jackass, but you probably should have guessed what my answer was going to be, considering the name of my YouTube channel is Marble Gallery. But yeah, I would easily say Symphony of the Night. I will tell you my least favorite Castlevania game, but I don't really even count it as a Castlevania game, is Judgment. But that's... It's not really a Castlevania game, it's a fighting game, and to be fair, it's humorous. Like, I think it's funny. I think it's ridiculous that someone made a frickin' Castlevania fighting game, but it's not a good game. It's probably my least favorite. That and maybe... Oh... I could say Curse of Darkness, but I didn't play enough of it. That's the problem. I just remember when it came out, renting it and not really caring for it, and I never went back to it. I can tell you, I can give you another example of how big of a lifelong fan of Castlevania I am. I was one of the few people that went out and reserved that it was going to be called Castlevania Resurrection for the Dreamcast. That was one of the reasons I got a Dreamcast besides Code Veronica. I remember seeing pictures of that in EGM, and it blew my mind as a kid. So, because it was after, you know, Castlevania 64 had come out, and I was like, oh man, this just looks so much better. And then that game never actually happened, unfortunately. That would have been a very interesting game. Unfortunately, it didn't work out that way. Whew. In a couple minutes here, we're going to take a quick break so I can use the restroom and get something to drink. Just to give you guys a heads up, probably in the next 5 minutes I'm going to do that. Oh, shit. Kind of need to get through that way. I keep forgetting. Like, I really need to get rid of that. There we go. I think I said on I said this on the last stream, but I'll say it again. Like, as a kid, what got me into Castlevania was the local Pizza Hut down the road from me had a cool double arcade cabinet. It was one of those things where, like, both sides, it was like a double weird, like, duo tube TV. And I still can't remember what the other game on the other side of it was another Nintendo game. It could have been Tetris. But the one side it was just Castlevania, like the original Castlevania. That's how I first learned about the game. So I didn't actually learn about the game by playing the original NES game. I did, you know, eventually later get it on NES and play it there, but my first exposure to this series was through this arcade machine. And it sucks because that Pizza Hut no longer is there. It's now a Mexican restaurant. But I will say in like the later days of that Pizza Hut, like they still had the arcade machine sitting in their basement. I should have just asked. I should have just asked to how much. Like there's many times I went in there and I pushed out every time, but there were many times I would go in there like to eat before this Pizza Hut went really downhill. And you know, I wanted to ask, like, hey, look, I'll give you $50 and I'll haul that thing out of here myself, and I'll just restore this thing myself, because that's a huge piece of my childhood. But yeah, and unfortunately, I done screwed up there. That thing's probably long gone. And the thing is, like, at the time that I would have bought that thing was at a time where before this retro gaming market exploded. So I probably could have got it for $50 if I really wanted to. Now, if I walked in there and they still happen to have it and that Pizza Hut was still open, they probably would want like $300-400 for that thing. Oh, I don't know if I'm ready to fight your buddy Death yet.
So, you've made it this far. In the name of your father, cease this foolishness.
Least favorite character in Castlevania? Do you want to know playable character or just character in general?
I'll feast on your soul this night.
Oh, shit. Oh. Oh, shit. Okay, so it slows it down, but it doesn't... We're probably going to get our asses handed to us here because we weren't prepared for this. Although, I don't know, I'm doing pretty wicked damage against him. The problem is I can't get away from his stupid mystical ball. Shit. I forgot there's a couple forms to him. That was weak of me. But least favorite character overall is probably the dude you play as, and isn't his name Reinhardt? The dude you play as in Castlevania 64. He's just not a very memorable character. I think his name's Reinhardt. I could be wrong on that. I want to say it's Reinhardt. It's probably my least favorite character in any Castlevania game. He's just you never think of him like at all ever. So that's an easy one. Favorites, obviously Alucard, but after that, I like Soma Cruz a lot. I like, why her name escapes me right now. The chick from Order of Ecclesia. Is it, oh good, we get this great thing. Is her name Shinoa? I feel like it's Shinoa. I don't know. For whatever reason, I'm blanking on her name right now, but she's a pretty cool character. And then again, like, I know this is probably blasphemy to a lot, because a lot of people hate Lords of Shadow, which I don't understand, but I really liked what they did, the idea of, you know, going back and rewriting the game's history a little bit, having Gabriel Belmont, the first Belmont, become Dracula. I thought that was a really cool twist in that game. I really like the character of Gabriel Belmont. I thought that was awesome. I know a lot of Castlevania fans were kind of not fans of that game, but I really, really like that game. Whew. We should probably go back to that save point. Like how we just fight that guy that was a boss, like the first boss you fight in this game, and now he's just a normal ass enemy. That's like typical for one of these games, though. What level? I leveled up. I was gonna say I leveled up a couple times in like the last half hour. All right, I'm gonna save here, guys, and then I'm going to take a quick break here to use the restroom, get something to drink here because my can's pretty empty here. I'll be back at the longest 10 minutes, but it'll probably be about 5 minutes. So just stick around. I will be right back. Alright, we're back. See, it didn't take that long. Let me just find where I set my controller here. Ugh. Itch my nose. That's one of the main reasons why I really like Lords of Shadow. I thought that storyline was incredible. I was ready for a big 3D Castlevania at the time that came out. Because, like, you think about between that game, it was what? Like, Curse of Darkness was the last 3D Castlevania. The last 3D Castlevania game I had really played was Lament of Innocence, which I thought was okay. I didn't think it was the best Castlevania game, but I didn't hate it. Like, I remember enjoying it when it came out. And then Curse of Darkness, like I said, I rented it. I don't know. I couldn't get into it at the time. I think if I went back to it and gave it more of a fair shake today, I'd probably enjoy it. We went in there, right? Yes. Oh, shit. But, what a freaking hellhole. Like I said, Lords of Shadow 2, I was beyond pumped for Lords of Shadow 2, especially after how the first one ended. That game was disappointing. Like, I thought there were some good elements, but at the end of the day, I thought the story was kind of weak in comparison. Like, it just, especially with the mind-blowing ending of Lords of Shadow 1 of putting it in present day, you got the twist of him actually becoming Dracula, but then also to put it in present day had me really excited. I just felt like they didn't deliver that. That being said, there's some really cool stuff in that game, like that beginning of that game when you're fighting that holy knight and he says some of the dialogue from Symphony of the Night. Like that shit was cool. But unfortunately, like, I've only played through Lord of Shadow 2 once, which should speak to you how much I was disappointed in that game in comparison. I've played through Lords of Shadow, the original, probably like 6 times now. So it was actually one of the games I was considering playing for the streams here, but that game's really long. Like, really long. Like, it's like a first time through, like, once you get the hang of it and understand it, you probably go pretty fast through it. But the first time I played through the game, it took me like over 20 hours, which is long for that kind of game. Maybe next year. I definitely toyed with it. It's the kind of thing where, like, if I were to do it, I would probably want to play through Lord of Shadow 1, and then I'd play through 2 again, because I kind of want to play. I have them both on Steam now, and I'd like to play through 2 again, but the Steam version, to see what that's like. I'm sure that game's a lot better at a higher frame rate and, visual quality. I mean, again, you have to remember, I was freaking pumped for that game. That was the last 360, like, brand new $60 360 game I bought, day one. And it was the kind of thing where I remember just sitting and waiting for them to be like, oh, it's also coming to Xbox One and PS4, and then it just didn't. Is it really not? Oh, that's disappointing. Okay. And then there was that 3DS game, Mirror of Fate, which I thought was okay. The problem with that game is I think everybody expected it to be a Metroidvania type, and it's I would call it a Metroidvania light. It's not like Symphony of the Night, but it has some of those elements, but not nearly like the other ones. And I think that's why a lot of people walked away from that game disappointed. I don't know if I ever bought that one on Steam. I bought that one on 3DS, obviously, and then I bought it on 360. I don't think they ever made it backwards compatible. But I don't know if I ever bought it on Steam. It's definitely been cheap, like $2 or $3, and every time I look at it, I'm like, I've already played that, though. Another thing that I really like, obviously, like a big thing for me in Castlevania is the music. Like, if the music's bad, then that's a big down, in my opinion, for a Castlevania game. But like most all Castlevania games, I feel like have good music. I can't think of a specific example of one where I was like, oh, that music kind of sucked. Ooh, I actually want that. Nope. Lords of the Shadow, both of them, but especially the first one, I thought the music was outstanding. Really good stuff. I think I actually got the soundtrack with the collector's edition of that game. I would have bought the collector's edition for 2 if they would have put it out in America, but it was a European-only thing. It was really cool. This lady's power ever end? Holy shit, man. That lady's gonna kill me. I don't... I'm probably dead. I'm dead, because that just jacked my life. Give me a second here. Ooh. But yeah, if you were to make a Castlevania game, put it on, it didn't have good music, it's kind of a like, what are you doing, man? But honestly, I'm sitting here trying to think, like, is there a Castlevania game that has bad music? Like, I don't, because even Castlevania Judgment has good music. Even Castlevania 64 has good music. Some might argue that one, but I thought the music was pretty good in that game. It's not, it doesn't have the same like stylings as Castlevania, like other Castlevania games, but I thought it was, it had good music overall. I don't think there's one that has bad music. I mean, there's definitely some that have better music than others. I mean, obviously, Symphony at Night is the gold standard when it comes to that. There we go. That's what I was looking for. This is stupid. I love. Alright, fine. Waste of my time, but whatever. The thing that made the cold weather even more jarring for me today is as you know, as you guys know, I walk every day, and I did my usual walk this morning, and it's not only kind of jarring because it's colder than normal right now, but it's also that's not the only problem. It's also really windy, so by the time I got back, I was tired out from that and the wind. Like it was a lot to take in. Like I'm sure my face looks a little red because I think I got wind burned once again. It's pretty windy. It's pretty windy today. Like I'm definitely glad we're getting one more, like it seems like in this area we're getting one more nice week of, you know, high 60s, low 70 weather before like the real cool down really begins. But I'd also at the same time kind of like it just to happen so that it stays one way, because the consistent change is killing me. Okay, this area again. Yeah, we'll keep that. Ow. Throw your cat at me. Losed a lot of health, unfortunately. Blood of Tears is a standard in pretty much every Castlevania game. I think there's even a weird version of it in Lords of Shadow 1. This wonderful room. Yeah, that was worth it. Uh-oh, I just realized why she's not dying. Because my Ice Brand sword heals her. This... Just give me a second here. Ooh. Nope, not yet. Want to find a save room before I just do that. Hold up. I don't remember what boss this is, so this will be fun. Oh, okay. This is gonna suck. I don't even have enough to do, I should have probably leveled up before. That's okay. I think I can put on that lightning armor and it'll protect me, but I can't remember. Game over. Let me see that once. Put that on real quick. Like, good lord, that should jack me up. He's just gonna win that way. Like what? Like he already won. Use your stupid light. Yeah, that thing definitely helps, but. That was my dumbass fault. I'm starting to look like a noob at this game. Put that on again. Try to see if I had anything else. Just put that on. We'll probably start with the balls. Yep. Gosh, this guy is such a piece of shit. Whoop, not what I want to do. It's over. I'm gonna have to level up a little bit before I take him on. The problem is I'm trying to clear this game too fast. How many hours have we put into this save file? It's like I haven't really paid attention. Wow, that's longer than I thought it would take, if we're being honest. Oh, I didn't. Ugh, I keep forgetting. Yeah, I may as well put that on, right? I can hit me up there, sure. I want to try and get behind him. Don't. He'll do that, but... Ah! Yeah, let's go level up and then we'll take him on. I apologize, this is probably incredibly boring for everybody watching this to watch me keep dying, but it is what it is. I think we've kind of explored the rest of this area, though. That's the problem. Because we've explored that room, which is nothing now. I guess we could go back and explore more of this room back here. How much... I should see, like, how much I get from killing one of those, because what... I'm what, level 42 now? Is it? That's all that's down here? Okay. Oh, there's something else down here. Cloak of some sort. Necklace. What would I put that under? That's kind of cool. Brings your defense up a little bit. That's kind of cool. Wow, she's worth a lot. Okay. I'll just run through this area a couple times, killing her. She's worth like 1,500 experience a piece, so I might as well just keep killing her. Until it's not really viable anymore. Insane. I think over here is where there was that hardcore one to kill. She does this absurd move that just wrecks me if left unchecked. Oh. Ah, it's this stupid witch lady. Oh, there's annoying enemy. Jeez, what a room this is. They're worth like 1,000, but they're annoying to kill. Where's that other, like, the frozen lady? Or whatever that thing's called, I forget. Really easy to kill in comparison. I'm not really worried about you. I need to not let her do her special move. You say, because otherwise we're all in a lot of trouble here. The witches are so annoying in this game. Oh my god, like what is hurting me? Her broomstick? I made a mistake of not getting in a single hit off of her. Ugh. That's my freaking fault. Really, she's such an annoying piece of shit enemy. Like, I'm gonna die to her right now, and that's really disheartening to me right now. Like, I have to waste healing items right now, because I don't want to... See if I can't just... Oh my god, I just want to get out of this hellhole. She's such an annoying piece of shit enemy. Here. You want to know my answer to the most hated enemy in this game? There it is. The witches. They're not hard, it's just they're annoying. Like, they only take a couple hits to go down, but they're just a really annoying ass enemy. Where's that sword I was using? Not what I want to do. Yeah, now they're not starting to give me as much experience, but you know what? I'll milk this one more time. I will milk this one more time because it's worth it. And then we'll go back and see if we can't defeat our buddy. Because he's a pain in the ass enemy. Like, that enemy definitely does more damage, but she's not as annoying because she easily goes down, whereas that other one just, ugh. Talk about a maddening enemy. Should see what I'm at. Jeez. Ow, ow, ow. I've had my feet up this entire time, and that put my one leg to sleep. My leg is asleep right now, which sucks. It's like moving that wasn't fun. I'll equip that. Oh, excuse me. In fact, it doesn't matter. I like how he turned around. Oh, I'm dead because of that now. I don't remember how much health he has, that's the problem. Ugh, I've died a lot tonight, I apologize. I mean, I guess I just keep grinding, right? Like, whatever. I might as well cheese the game as much as I can. It's usually the wall you hit with these kind of games. Oh god, I'm killing those one hit now. Insane. Wow, $1. Oh, we're pretty much there. We can just head back. Can I wear 2 of those? Let's see. Jeez. I mean, I guess that's something, right? I never played the DLC for Lords of Shadow 2 either. I have it. It came with the Steam version I bought. I don't think I ever bought it. Or no, you know what? I think I did buy it on 360 and I meant to play it and I just never went back. How you do that now. I heard it was okay, but I never... I played the DLCs for Lords of Shadow, which they're okay. I mean, they're definitely important to the story, because it kind of tells you how he goes down the dark path of becoming Dracula, but... the first one is like all platforming based, and the second one is literally just an elongated boss fight, which is fine. But yeah, but I never played that Lords of Shadow 2 DLC. Gosh, every time those things just dick me over, man. Jeez. It's like just when you think he's going in for like a shitty, like easy attack, he goes for a hard one. What do I have that can really help me here? What does this do? I'm dead anyways because he's gonna hit me here. Wow, this is quite a brick wall I've hit in this game. Oh boy. More times than I want to see this screen tonight. I'm trying to think, because, like, obviously you're going to put that on. I mean, those bring my defense up. I do have these high potions. I guess I should start, you know what, here. Like I don't even get a hit in. Instead, I get the dickery here. Holy shit, man. Those are so freaking annoying. He just keeps whoring that attack. I mean, I guess I would too if I had something that powerful, but like he just keeps whoring this attack. Anything else? Oh shit! Really? I did not. Probably wasn't the best time. You know what? I don't even care. And then I just wasted that thing by keep getting hit by that. Come on, man. Have to be close. I don't know, guys. I don't know if that guy's getting killed right now. I'm gonna have to go do something else in this game. Because I'm tired. I'm absolutely tired of seeing this stupid screen right now. This is kind of maddening. I don't remember that guy being so hardcore either. That's the thing. Give me 1 second here, guys. I'm gonna mute my mic for a second. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, we're gonna go to a different area in this game. I do this every time. I'm gonna just pass on fighting you. I hate these stupid witches. Oh, that's right. There's more. Oh, look at that. There's 3 of them. Wow. Gonna keep passing. Just don't care. Don't care about that right now. I'm kind of hoping at some point somebody... Well, I mean... I guess it's hard to say this because we're getting Xbox backwards compatibility, although I don't think there's going to be... I don't think the Xbox backwards compatibility, like the original games, is going to be nearly the deal that the 360 backwards compatibility is. I think it's going to be a lot less titles than people anticipate. That being said, I think it would be pretty cool if somebody made a HDMI out thing for the Xbox, kind of like they did for the GameCube. I think that would be pretty cool. I doubt it'll ever happen, though. Let's see here. I'm trying to think of what else. We're missing a couple pieces of him. 1 of 5 treasures. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're missing 1 piece. I'm trying to remember where we haven't been yet. Isn't that area hellish over here? I think it's that stupid clock tower area that I hate. We'll find out. Yeah, it is. This area sucks. I also think that, now that we were on the subject earlier of different random-ass Castlevania games, that PSP game, Dracula, is it Dracula Chronicles, or... I want to say Dracula X Chronicles, but I know that's wrong. But that PSP game is really freaking good. Really freaking good. That's a good game, too. That game I remember getting and staying up like pretty much all night the first day I got that game. That was one of the reasons I got a PSP. I had a PSP really briefly, like 6 months, and got rid of it. And I literally got it to play Crisis Core when that game came out. But then that Castlevania game was the other game that I wanted to play on that system. I tried Liberty City Stories and Vice City Stories. I just couldn't get into those versions of GTA. PSP was an okay system, though. I think the Vita's a much better handheld system than the PSP, though. That screen was really good. I mean, now you look at that screen compared to, like, the Switch, and you laugh, but the system was really cool. There we go. Wait, is there more down here that I didn't explore? Oh, it just didn't register. Okay. Let's kill you. There we go. I gotta sit up here. This is probably my least favorite area in this entire game, just because it gets annoying. But these enemies aren't particularly hard or do a lot of damage, but when they shove so many of them at you at once, it gets hectic. And I hate when you keep falling off of ledges and stuff. Like right there, prime example of what I hate about this area. And in fact, if you guys give me a second here, I actually gotta use the restroom again. So give me 1 second, I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. Had to go to the bathroom pretty bad. Alright. The problem too is my throat's starting to get kind of scratchy right now. I don't think I'm getting sick or anything like that. I think I just didn't drink enough today. Oh, I gotta... always forget. We're actually pretty close to the end of this game, so we'll totally finish this playthrough tonight, I think. We're missing one item to go fight Shaft and then Dracula at the end, so... That other boss I was trying to fight earlier, I forgot was an optional boss. So... try to lift the light up here a little bit. Looks a little bit better. I'm trying to remember... Oh, I totally know who I haven't fought yet that has the last piece I'm missing. I had to think about that. If we finish early enough tonight, I may do a quick, like, dick around with the Super NES Classic stream. It kind of depends on how quick this ends. Haven't decided yet. Still thinking, you know. See what I'm feeling. It would be a short, like, hour at most stream. It wouldn't be like some marathon like this. This is a pretty big marathon stream of this game, but I just kind of wanted to get it done so we can move on to Resident Evil, which will be, you know, a one-off, hopefully. And then Dead Space. You know, I want to do some of those other one-offs really quick. I don't think I would do Zombies Ate My Neighbors tonight. Excuse me. I would probably do, excuse me. I'm thinking Bram Stoker's Dracula. That game, I have a weird reverence for that game. As a kid, I was afraid of the movie. Like, I saw the scene, and this is probably why to this day I'm not a big fan of blood. I saw the scene where Lucy throws up all that blood in that movie, and that like scarred me as a kid. So I was super afraid of that movie as a kid. What a pushover. I'm kind of over leveled at this point though. Wow, we have all 5 pieces. But if we do that Super Nintendo thing, I will probably have to take the stream down for like 10 minutes or so to set that up. So we'll see. If I, we might do that. We'll see. It depends on how pissy I get here at the end of this game. So that's the problem right now. Is like when I get to this point, it's always like am I going to be able to just run through this, or am I going to suck ass at it and have to go grind? You know, because I kind of just want to run, be done, but. Trying to think of the best way. Plus, I don't know how long it's gonna take when I upload this new video later. Like how long it's gonna take over an hour to upload, I'm sure, because it was a pretty big file. I am thinking about doing. Unfortunately, like a lot of people love room tours, videos and stuff like that. I'm not necessarily thinking about doing like a full room tour because my collection's not of game stuff is not nearly as impressive as a lot of people on the internet. However, I'm thinking when I hit 50 subscribers, which I'm pretty close. I'm thinking about doing a showcase of like some of my retro stuff, like collection. Again, it's not very big. It's kind of like one bookshelf right now. It's not like nearly as big as a lot of people out there. So I haven't decided yet. But I'm thinking about doing that. I'm thinking like then when I hit maybe like 100 subscribers down the road, I will do like a bigger like a room tour or something. But again, I don't have the big huge game room like a lot of people on YouTube do, unfortunately. Like my collection's modest. The biggest collection for a platform I have is my Xbox 360 collection. So, which you guys see in almost every video because it's literally part of the backdrop. So. But yeah, so we'll see. I've been toying with the idea of doing that though. It's actually, you probably can't see it in this video, but like there's a chair behind me. I'll kind of point the camera that way for a second. The chair behind me over there, behind that chair, that bookshelf has all my like PS1, Super Nintendo, all that shit's on that bookshelf. I don't think my Sega Genesis. I don't have very many Sega Genesis stuff. That's actually an interesting story. So the Sega Genesis, I never owned one as a kid growing up. I was a Nintendo kid, so I had Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64. The first Sega system I owned was a Dreamcast, and so I never had a Sega Genesis growing up. I played Sega Genesis. I had friends that had Sega Genesis, and you know, I liked the Genesis a lot. I thought it was a really cool system, but I didn't have one personally. So a couple years ago, a lady that I used to work with at GameStop was cleaning out her garage, and she found a bunch of old retro stuff that she didn't want anymore. So me and my other buddy who worked there split the cost of it. We were just like, well, what do you have? And she gave us like a list of the games and stuff that she had, and we were like, okay, that like we kind of looked it up, we went through price charting, and we came up with what we thought was a fair offer for it, which I think between the two of us, I think it was $300 between the two of us, because she actually had quite a few good things, and we split the cost of it even, so I think I paid $150. But one thing that I got out of that was I got a original box. The box looks beautiful. It's in my closet right now because I don't have a place to display it in my room at the moment. Sega Genesis system, like in the box. It looks great. I've used it. I used it to play Bloodlines, as you saw, that I showed up early in the stream. It's awesome. So that is one thing I'm very proud of in my collection. And it was fun to get that because it was kind of like a Christmas gift to myself that year, because I was like, I never owned one as a kid, and I thought that was really cool. Oddly enough, I owned a Sega Game Gear as a kid, so I told my parents that Christmas that I wanted a Game Boy because that was the hotness. Everybody had Game Boy. They bought me a Game Gear because it was in color, and they thought that, you know, the color made it a better system. Not realizing that that's not what I wanted at the time. So yeah, they were that was not a fun Christmas for them. To be fair, like, I was bummed initially. I actually liked the Game Gear after getting over the initial put down if this isn't a Game Boy. I actually had a lot of fun with that system. They had some good games. Never had that TV. I always wanted that TV thing. I never got that. There was like a TV tuner you could get, and I thought that was the coolest thing as a kid. Never got that peripheral, but so I guess that was the first Sega console I owned. Now that I think about it, the first Sega home console I owned, like hook up to a TV console, was the Dreamcast. This cannot be.
You claim to love the darkness. Go then and dwell there for all eternity.
I'm trying to think of some of the other games she had in that box. Like, I got Final Fantasy II for Super Nintendo out of that box. I got a box copy of Banjo-Kazooie out of that box, which is over on my shelf over there. A box copy of Mortal Kombat 2 for Super Nintendo out of that, which is pretty cool. I'm trying to think of others. There was a couple good. Secret of Evermore, I think, was in there. Joe and Mac, one of the Joe and Macs. I don't remember if it's one or two. Like there was a slew of good games out of it. Like it was the kind of thing where I felt like for $150 it was more than fair and a really good deal at the same time. So.
Think you I would forget such a thing? No, but neither do I seek revenge against them.
Still uttering the same nonsense. No matter. Now is the time to put aside your weak human side and join me in remaking this world.
Dracula. In the name of my mother, I will defeat you again.
Shit, I didn't mean to pick up my phone as this starts. Let's see, because I kind of want to have this on the ready. I don't remember him being too hard to beat, but... Problem is I keep getting stuck on the side here. I can't get out of that. He's gonna kill me because I can't get out of that. I don't remember him being really challenging to kill. Again, seen that screen more times than I care to tonight. I really don't want to have to grind anymore in this game. I kind of just want to beat it. Shaft's not too hard to beat. I remember Dracula being that, like, hardcore to beat either. I mean, all things considered, like, beating this game under 9 hours, like, kind of not really doing some of the crazy shit in it is not bad. Oh, my phone's being stupid right now. Why is my phone being stupid right now? I don't know. Alright. Let's try that again. Let's see. First things first. I guess I should probably keep... Oh, I didn't even have that on. What is the best armor I have? Yeah, I guess that is the best armor I have. Is this the best? Probably the best cloak I have. I'm trying to think of... That brings my defense up quite a lot. What about... Let's see what else. Anything else can bring my defense up? Not really. We'll just leave it the way it is. I don't think I have anything better there either. Okay. I'm gonna put that down. Put that there. And then I'm gonna go up and put that. Why? Is that really a better... Oh no, okay, I see. gonna save it again so I don't have to do all that in case I die again. Whew. All right. I get to listen to all this shit. Oh no, I guess I could skip it. That's kind of cool. The guy says his own name, Shaft. I probably should have went and got a different power weapon, or power, whatever they call the sub-weapon. I couldn't think of the word. Ugh. No. Oh shit, I forgot about that. Probably use that too soon, but it's I should see, just in case. Oh, fudge. That's kind of cool. I guess we'll put those out. Ah, I got stuck on that. Oh, I actually didn't get hit by that. That's surprising. It just puts me right into that thing's shit claw on purpose. Jeez, that thing is annoying. God, this thing, it's an annoying thing to get caught by in this game. Like, oh, what else do I have? I got the moon rod. I didn't realize I have that. I should put that out as my secondary weapon. But do I have any other? That only heals him. That's kind of. What does this restore some HP? I guess I'll use that just because. Oh my god, like, I can never pull off that dodge move. I'm just stuck here. Sucking dick in the corner. Come on, man. I don't remember how much health he has. Was that it? I used all those? Oh shit. Okay. sure. I have no idea how much. Yeah, nothing. You have to be close to being dead, man. God, how much is left of this guy? Oh, dude, I don't have anything that will, like, royally heal me. That's really what I need right now. I don't know what that'll do. That does nothing. What else do I have? No. Does nothing for me right now. Oh, like, that's not gonna do anything for me. Jeez. I'm gonna have to fight him a third time. That's really pissed me off. Just die already. You're so close. You have to be so close. God. I don't want to have to grind anymore. Ugh. I just want to be done now. Oh, God. I can't believe this. I don't remember him being a bitch to kill like this, but maybe I'm just not leveled up well enough. Oh, I see something once. Excuse me, guys. Ow.
Father.
We'll use the lower ones first. I'll use that. Where the fudge? Sometimes this thing's stupid. There we go. Never got hit by that once, and now this time I get hit by that, sure. Dumb. Excuse me. Oh, this is just maddening. Like, there's nothing I hate more. There we go.
Go back whence you came. Trouble the soul of my mother no more.
How?
How is it that I've been so defeated?
You have been doomed.
I could have went and got the god weapon if I wanted to, but I kind of, this wasn't a like complete 100% playthrough.
For what profit is it to a man if he gains the world?
I might in the future do a playthrough like that, but that wasn't going to be this playthrough. This was just kind of a play through the story.
I believe.
I'm going to move that over.
Tell me, what were Lisa's last words?
She said, do not hate humans. If you cannot live with them, then at least do them no harm. For theirs is already a hard lot. She also said to tell you that she would love you for all of eternity.
Lisa, forgive me. Farewell, my son.
Well, that's going to complete Castlevania Symphony of the Night. So we did a good job in finishing that game. It only took beat a couple times to beat Dracula.
I'm glad you're all right.
I'm sorry.
So, yeah, we finished this up pretty quick, so I think we will do a little Super Nintendo here in a minute. It's going to take me a couple minutes to readjust things in the room here for that, but yeah, I'm thinking we'll do a little Super Nintendo here.
The only thing necessary for evil to triumph is for good men to do nothing.
That's good.
I understand.
Alucard, what will you do now?
The blood that flows in my veins is cursed. It would be best for this world if I were to disappear forever.
I see.
Farewell then.
I just realized I put a bunch of dust on my phone. I should really dust the top of my TV stand, like under my TV, like behind it, where I can't really get to. It's just bad. I just noticed that. I usually, I mean, I'm sitting like literally a foot from my 55-inch 4K TV right now, which is not fun. I just did that because it was a lot easier for the camera position. I noticed when I was, you know, using the tripod here for this camera, there's not a good way for me to adjust where it is in the room, so I don't know. Anyways, guys, that's Symphony of the Night. That's the end. That's the end of that. So we're going to go ahead and end the stream here in a minute here. So if you guys stick around in a couple minutes, I'm going to be streaming some Bram Stoker's Dracula for the Super Nintendo. I'll be doing that in probably the next 10 minutes here or so. But thanks for joining me on the Castlevania journey here. Tuesday night, most likely Tuesday, it might be Wednesday, I'll be doing Resident Evil HD No Door mod run on the channel. I plan to do that in one sitting. Hopefully that's how that goes. And then after that, we'll be doing Dead Space, and then we'll be ending this Horror Fest month with Deadly Premonition at the end of the month. But anyways, guys, thanks for checking this out. Hope you come back around for Bram Stoker's Dracula here in a little bit. Anyways, guys, take care.